Hey guys, I thought I would do a little bit of a longer video on how to level up with your fitness, so with your nutrition and exercise specifically. So I'm just going to give you 3 quick ways that you can, make some changes to really level up with your nutrition exercise. And when we say level up, what I'm referring to is just taking that next step. The problem that I see time and time again, and I go on about this so much on my social media, is people going all in. They go from level 1 to level 10, which you cannot do. You need to level up one level at a time. It's like with anything that you do. You need to obviously take the steps necessary to get there. So it's really important to think about that when you are on your journey, whether that be weight loss, muscle gain, fitness, whatever it is. You really need to remember to level up. It's like with anything. It's like if you run a marathon, you're not going to go from doing no running and then run a whole marathon. Okay, you obviously take the necessary steps to get there. So you're going to start with shorter runs to build your fitness and endurance up, and then over time that's going to get better. You might decide to do a half marathon before doing a full marathon. So just remember that, just to kind of put it in a bit more perspective for you guys, because I think a lot of people out there, and a lot of the ones that follow me, I've noticed as well, they go really, really intense and they burn out and they don't stick to it. So you want something that's obviously going to be sustainable for you to be able to maintain the results that you get long term. I just really don't see the point in these people that get results and it's only for like a week or a month at most, and then they kind of just pile it back on. So it's really important to take the necessary steps to get there. So I'm going to start with nutrition. Now, there's a few ways that you can do this. Now, if you're someone who is obviously just starting out, start by just getting into a routine with your food. And that means just having set meal times. Best way that I say for people that are starting off is just have like breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 to 3 snacks. And try to structure them where, you're eating every 3 to 4 hours, really keep your metabolism burning and not going too long without eating, where then that's when it leads to kind of overeating and binging. So really getting into that routine of eating and having set meal times, I think is a great way to start, because it just teaches you to have that structure, keeps you more satiated because you're spreading your food throughout the day and not eating all in one hit and like I said before, overeating. So that would be the next level if you're someone that's a beginner, or I would say like level 1. Now, if you are someone who is already doing that, that's when you can look into, maybe using a tracking tool like MyFitnessPal, or, just calculating your calories some way, in a way that you can figure out how much you're having each day or the average over the week. We need to remember that every day counts, and it's your weekly total average that's going to contribute to whether you're in a calorie deficit, whether you're at maintenance or in surplus. So just remember to look at that as a whole. You're not just looking at one specific day. And that's why I say to people, when you track, try to track like for a week or 2, just to get sort of an idea of where your calories are at. So that would be option, or that would be probably be not option number 2, but the next level after you're already in some sort of routine and structure with your nutrition. Now, I am going to do like a how to use MyFitnessPal video. I'm in the process of the best way that I can make that for you guys. And that way you can feel a little bit more comfortable about tracking and the accuracy of that. So that would be the next thing. And then it's all about finding out what your calorie deficit is, if your goal is weight loss. So calorie deficit is where you're going to see changes on the scale, or physically where you're actually losing weight. If you are not losing weight, you're not in a deficit. That's the only answer. A lot of people are like, it's because of this and it's because of that. No, you're not in a calorie deficit. So if you're kind of stayed around the same weight for a while, you're in maintenance. If you're eating more than what you should be, or in a surplus, that's when you'll probably see the scale weight go up, or you're increasing weight overall. So dependent on your goal. So that's where you really need to look at, and that will be a good indication if you're in a calorie deficit. Now, when it comes to your exercise, with leveling up for exercise, this I think is something that, again, a lot of people go wrong with, is because they go from doing nothing and then they'll go sign up to some sort of classes and do like 5-6 days a week. You can't do that. You really got to build it up. So with my clients that join my program, we start really small. We start by just, focusing on steps. So movement overall throughout the day. Having a step goal or a step count is a really good way to just keep you accountable and ensure that you have that consistency over the week. Then you can look into, okay, maybe I want to do strength training once, twice a week, or some sort of fitness class once, twice a week. But I would leave it at that for, at least, 1 to 2 months, just to see how your body adjusts to that before even adding in a third or fourth workout. Because you got to remember as well, your body takes time to adapt to this, and you don't want to burn yourself out where you feel tired, and that's the tiredness and the fatigue as such is what leads to the motivation actually dropping, because you've gone too hard, you just feel like shit. So just gradually build it up, make it realistic to your lifestyle. Some people will only stick to 2 to 3 workouts a week for forever, and that's fine, because that's what their lifestyle allows them to fit in. So I would say start by just tracking your steps, having a step goal, and then you can look into adding some sort of, program or gym routine in there. It doesn't have to be the gym specifically. It can be from home. It can be classes. Some people just prefer to get in and out and someone do it for them, whether that's with a personal trainer or by yourself. Whatever it is, just start with that. So I think that is the number one thing with exercise, is just gradually, again, taking those steps to build yourself up, to be able to do something where you're like, you know what, this is something I can do every week and something that I can maintain. Because you don't want to smash yourself, lose all the weight, you've gone crazy on the deficit, crazy with exercise. What happens when you burn out? You go back to just eating whatever. I'm just going to go when I feel like it, exercise, when I can. And that's when the weight piles back on, because your body was burning so much. It was in such a great deficit. Of course it's going to lose weight. Okay, but then when you obviously just let go of all of that, it's going to pile on very, very quickly. So again, like I said, little changes that are going to lead to the ultimate goal, and ones that you can obviously maintain as well. Okay, so when leveling up your nutrition and exercise, just remember to take those necessary steps. And if you need help with this and you're not sure where to start, or you're not sure what level you're at, please reach out and I'm more than happy to help you. And lastly, I just want to add, the biggest way to level up with your nutrition and exercise is to just be consistent. A lot of people still don't know what consistency is. Consistency is not doing it for a few months or doing it for half a year and having half the year off. Consistency is showing up. Even some of those weeks, we all have those weeks where we're, not as motivated, or, not feeling, the best that we are, or that best that we can. And that happens. But it's still about showing up even when you don't want to. And just making these things a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change. And that's what I say to people that join my program. This is not a challenge. It's not a weight loss competition. It is a lifestyle change. It's how can I use these habits and adopt them into my life, for the rest of my life, okay? And obviously at the start of your journey, you might do things a little bit more, or, focus on it, make it more of a priority. But then once you get to your goal, you can then kind of, pull back a little bit and just adopt strategies that you can sustain long-term and just add into your lifestyle, or they're just kind of like normal. It's part of your routine. Same as brushing your teeth, getting changed, getting ready for work, cooking dinner, whatever it may be. It's just part of your routine, okay? It's part of your schedule. So that is the biggest thing, finding those consistent habits and really showing up even when you don't want to. That's what's really going to separate you, and that's what's really going to make a difference. So I really hope this video helped. I really like to get on here and do sometimes some longer videos just to really get in depth of the message that I'm trying to get across, and make people see that there is more of a realistic approach to losing weight, and stop rushing it. Stop rushing the process. Stop thinking it's a race. Otherwise, you're never ever going to be happy. You're never going to be satisfied. And even if you do get to your goal very quickly, the maintenance phase is just as hard, trust me. And that's something that's going to take time. It's something that's going to take effort, and you really need to focus on it. So I would say it's very cliche, slow and steady wins a race, but it is so true. So thanks for listening, guys, and let me know what you want to hear more of, what you want to learn, and that way I can give you as much tips and, ideas as possible to really keep you on track with your goals.